Okay, my name is Larry with Man Cave Mayhem, and today we are doing an oil change on a 2015 Genuine Hooligan scooter. This particular oil change that I'm doing is going to be the 200-mile oil change, so I am going to use regular dyno oil on it. The tools that you'll need is a 17mm socket and obviously a socket wrench. I got an extension there. And the motor oil I'm using is, like I said, it's just regular non-synthetic oil because I'm going to run probably the first 2 or 3 oil changes with non-synthetic. Dealership said 1040 weight. The manual says 1540. 1540 is a little harder to find. That's going to be up to you what you want to do. I'm going to go with the 1040 weight. To start with, the oil drain plug is going to be right down here on the left-hand side of the scooter, really close to the center stand. Also, you might want to put some gloves on, but this is it right here. It's a 17mm bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and you might want to find an appropriate container. I got an old Cascade container that I'm going to drain the old used oil in. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to break the bolt loose right now, and I just pull the extension off, and hopefully I can keep the drain plug from falling into the container. I'll just drain this out. Now this first oil change is kind of critical because there's a lot of, as it's breaking in, there's a lot of small metal fragments that are seating in on the scooter itself, on the engine itself, and you want that piston to seat in well, so you want to get that oil out of there and get some new stuff in right away. That'll help the break-in process. So it's pretty simple. This is the first step of it. Once all the oil's drained out, then you'll just cap that bolt back on and snug it up, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, as I'm letting that oil drain, here's the drain plug, and there's going to be a flat aluminum, kind of a crush washer. It's just helps keep it sealed tight, so no oil leaks out once you put it in. They recommend that you change that. Some people say every time. I only change it when I see it's starting to leak, and I usually don't have problems with those leaking, so I'm obviously not going to change that out, but just keep track of it when you pull that oil drain plug out. So we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, we're now on the right hand side of the scooter, and I've replaced the drain plug and snugged it up. On the right hand side here, there is no oil filter, but there is right here under this bolt. This bolt is kind of connected. This is all one piece here. You take that off with the 17mm socket, and that's an oil screen. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off and show you what that looks like. I don't know really how much material that catches, but I guess that's kind of their answer. It's kind of like a Volkswagen engine, it's a screen to catch any big particles. And right above that, this is the where we're going to fill the oil and put the oil back in, and that's also where you check your oil. So we'll go ahead and move on with that. Okay, so I'm loosening up that now as we speak, and we're going to go ahead and pull this off and see what we get from this point. That's kind of what that screen looks like right there. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting. And then we have the spring that screen sits down in like that. And that's the cap. Okay, after cleaning the screen thoroughly and placing it back, the small end of the thing goes in the cup. And you just carefully place it back in the engine block, and being careful not to cross thread it, you slowly thread it in, and then and it's a little tricky because you kind of got to push that spring in with it. There's going to be tension on the spring, but once you get it started, it goes in pretty easily. And I just finger tighten it down as best I can, and then I take the ratchet and tighten it back up. I don't go crazy tight with it because it's got a rubber seal on it. You want to be able to get it off next time. I keep a little oil on the rubber seal. I'll wipe it up, make sure it's clean. Next step is we're going to put oil in this thing. And that will take place right here at the top. And it's going to call just for a little less than a quart. So I'll probably start out by putting even less than that in, letting it settle down, and then I'll add more. Okay, so I've got my cap off, as you can see, and got the funnel in the hole. And now I'm going to go ahead and pour this Castrol 4T motorcycle oil. It's 4-stroke motorcycle oil. I think what I'll probably end up going with is a scooter oil, some type of scooter oil. They make a few different types. Motul makes a good synthetic scooter oil, but until it's broken, I'm going to go ahead and use this for probably the next 2 oil changes, and then I'll go with a synthetic oil. So I'll start pouring and get back with you. Okay, so adding the oil now. As I said, I'll probably add not quite the full quart, and I'll let it settle in. Make sure you, as you're doing this, you do it on a level, fairly level surface. Try to get it as level as possible. Keep it on your center stand so you can get a good reading. Then when you go ahead to check the oil, don't screw the dipstick in, just set it in there, and that'll give you an accurate reading. If you screw it all the way in, then it's going to show that you have more oil in there than you really do. Okay, almost full on the dipstick, and I'm going to add just a little more oil, and my scooter will be ready to go again. Like I said, these scooters, they run at really high RPMs, and there's not much oil in them, so it's always good to kind of err on the side of caution. Check your oil always, and make sure, I know they call for, I think it's every 2,000 miles to do the oil change. I knock it down to 1,500 just to play it safe. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And I'd love to hear more from you. Thank you.